Feud between 50 Cent and the Harris family has officially erupted, and now King Harris is dropping revelations that could create serious fallout. After getting blasted for taking shots at 50, King stepped forward with claims about his father T.I. that have left people stunned. Some of the details surfacing could even bring legal attention to Tip. In this video, we're breaking down what King Harris revealed, how things escalated with 50 Cent, and why this might be the wildest chapter yet in the Harris family saga. To really understand King Harris's role in all this, you have to rewind and look at what his father started. The tension between 50 Cent and T.I. actually dates back to 2006, when both rappers were dominating the game. 50 was leading the charge with G-Unit, while T.I. crowned himself the King of the South. At first, the rivalry played out competitively through subtle jabs and sneak disses. Still, for years, it mostly stayed under the radar. They traded slick comments during interviews, slipped subliminals into songs, and eventually, it looked like both artists had moved on and focused on their own lanes. Then the platform Verzuz entered the picture. During the pandemic, Instagram Live turned into a digital cookout where legends could go hit for hit and remind fans of their catalog. Back in 2020, T.I. threw the challenge directly at 50 in an Instagram video posted on 50's birthday, telling him to pull up with 20 records and settle it. 50 didn't bite. Instead, he joked that someone must have passed Tip the same weed Smokey had in the movie Friday, making it clear he saw the challenge more as a joke than a real battle. T.I. kept pushing the idea. During the premiere event for BMF, Tip even called 50 out while on stage, trying to pressure him into doing it for the fans. Still, nothing happened. In 2021, 50 Cent basically shut the door on the idea completely. While speaking on The Morning Hustle, he said Verzuz made sense during the pandemic, but once people were outside again, he didn't understand why the battles were still happening. 5 years passed before the topic resurfaced. On February 6, 2026, T.I. appeared on Nightcap with Shannon Sharpe and Shadow Chicinco. During the interview, Tip once again said he wanted the Verzuz and claimed 50 didn't want any smoke. A couple of weeks later, he doubled down during an appearance on $1 Million Worth of Game. T.I. said the two had privately discussed battling before the public back and forth ever started. According to him, while they were both traveling through Hollywood securing TV and film deals, 50 seemed interested behind closed doors, but acted differently on social media. That shift left Tip lose respect. On the podcast, he explained, "We talked about this. We said what we were going to do. When I jumped out there, he acted like he didn't know what was going on." He added that if 50 didn't want to do it, he should have just said so. Tip also made it clear that a Verzuz between them would never actually happen. What happened next completely changed the tone of the conflict. 50 Cent fired back by posting old clips connected to T.I.'s legal past, specifically a 2008 Crime Stoppers commercial. Their tension had already been tied to a moment from 2007, when T.I. faced federal gun charges and later accepted a plea deal that resulted in about a year of prison time. 50 publicly accused Tip of cooperating with authorities, even labeling him a snitch. Once those receipts started circulating, the arguments stopped being about music and shifted toward respect and reputation. And when 50 eventually dragged Tip's family into it, the situation exploded.
At the time, T.I. was promoting his retirement album Kill the King and a new single titled Let Him Know. Even while pushing the project, he continued trading shots with his Queens rival online. But things turned from rap beef into a family-level conflict when 50 posted about Tip's wife, Tiny Harris. That moment sparked a brand new feud involving King Harris. 50 posted a photo of Tiny performing and captioned it with a warning telling T.I. to keep his name out of his mouth. Many people online interpreted the post as mocking or disrespectful. From there, the situation spiraled. 50 then posted again and dragged King Harris into the conversation, comparing him to the internet meme Pepe the Frog. Tip jumped into the comments, but the person who went hardest was King. Under the post with Tiny, King fired back with a blunt message, "Ready for war, where your mama?" And things escalated even further. Soon after, King posted an image of 50 Cent's late mother, Sabrina Jackson, alongside a tombstone graphic showing her name and lifespan. The caption told 50 to dig up his mother. In a series of heated Instagram stories, King went on a profanity-filled rant referencing Sabrina Jackson, who passed away when 50 was only 8 years old. King made it clear he wasn't about to let anyone disrespect his mother. He continued defending Tiny by pointing out several of 50's past controversies, including the aftermath of his 2000 shooting and previous domestic violence accusations. 50 eventually responded with another graphic featuring photos of King and Tiny, captioned, "God don't like ugly." He also mocked King's comments about his mother by posting an L alongside the Pepe the Frog meme. But King Harris wasn't finished. On February 24, 2026, he dropped his first diss track titled Made Man. In the song, he called out 50 Cent for disrespecting his mother and made it clear he wouldn't tolerate it. The track accused 50 of acting like an internet troll and challenged him to confront the issue face-to-face rather than online. Just days later, things escalated again. After T.I. released his fourth diss track on February 26th, both King Harris and his brother Damani Harris also jumped in with their own songs targeting the G-Unit boss. King promoted his track with a video that quickly went viral. In the clip, he wore a black t-shirt featuring a photo of 50 Cent's late mother. During the performance, he lit a blunt and attempted to pass it toward the image. That shirt became one of the most talked about moments online. Even Rick Ross, who has his own long-running feud with 50 Cent, jumped into the comments, showing support for the song and the stunt. Meanwhile, Damani Harris responded with his own diss track titled Miss Jackson. The song used the instrumental from No Role Models and sampled music from Outkast. In his opening verse, Damani addressed 50 Cent's late mother directly. The cover art even featured a burning house, which many interpreted as a reference to how 50's mother died in a fire. At that point, the Harris family appeared fully involved, but the big question remained: did T.I. actually approve of everything his sons were doing? Tip eventually slowed down the diss tracks he aimed at 50 Cent, and it became clear there were parts of the situation he wasn't happy about. During a sit-down on the Ebro in the Morning with Ebro Darden and Laura Stiles, the Atlanta rapper explained that he didn't need a feud with 50 Cent to promote his single Let Him Know. He joked that cutting off his dreadlocks and returning to his classic fade already brought plenty of attention. But when asked about his sons jumping into the fight, Tip was honest. He admitted he didn't enjoy seeing it happen. According to him, he had spent years trying to pull his son away from reckless behavior, and now the situation had given him a reason to undo some of that teaching. That comment carried a lot of weight.
And it suggested the family might now be dealing with King saying he had spent years trying to keep King out of trouble, trying to stop him from going too far. But now, because 50 Cent disrespected their family, King suddenly had an excuse to slip back into the behavior T.I. had been working hard to pull him away from. T.I. basically saw 50's trolling as fuel for King to fall back into old habits, and that genuinely concerned him. Still, T.I. made it clear he could give credit where he felt it belonged. He said he was proud of how both of his sons stood up for their mother, Tamika Tiny Harris, after she became the target of several memes that 50 posted and later deleted. T.I. explained it like this: "I raised my children to be men of respect, logical, reasonable, and not overly emotional. The one thing I'm proud of is that the women and children in our family know there's a line of men standing here against whoever. But that t-shirt, that was the line." When asked exactly when he felt the beef went too far, T.I. pointed straight to the moment King appeared wearing a shirt featuring 50 Cent's late mother. "That's enough when I seen that t-shirt," the Atlanta rapper said. "I'm big on treating people the way I want to be treated. I don't just go around doing to others what I wouldn't want done to me." King Harris, however, saw things very differently. During an interview with Complex News, the sons spoke about their role in the feud. When asked if they had considered handling the situation another way, King responded plainly, "I treated people how they treated us. It wasn't something I wanted to do, it was just something that had to be done." So, you've got a father saying his son crossed the line, and a son saying he did exactly what the moment required. That contrast says a lot about the complicated relationship between King Harris and T.I., a relationship that's been public, messy, and at times painful long before 50 Cent ever posted a meme. Meanwhile, T.I. kept the pressure coming musically. He dropped tracks like War, The Right One, Lessons, and What Bully. For about 2 straight weeks, it felt like T.I. wasn't letting up, releasing diss records aimed at 50. On The Right One, T.I. even referenced 50's ex, Daphne Joy, and her past relationship with Diddy. While T.I. was firing off songs, 50 mostly responded with memes. Early on, he took a few shots at Tiny and replied to King on social media, though many of those posts were later removed from his Instagram. Eventually, 50 stepped into the booth himself. He released the Power Origins theme song, No One Told Us What We're Here For, featuring Leon Thomas. The track included lines referencing T.I.'s family and allegations involving both T.I. and Tiny Harris. Reaction to the bars was mixed. Some fans were happy to hear 50 back on the mic. Others felt the response wasn't particularly strong, especially considering how intense rap feuds can get. Still, it marked the first time 50 responded with music during this situation. Then came the documentary rumors. Reports began circulating that 50 Cent might be working on a documentary tentatively titled Surviving T.I. and Tiny. The rumored project would reportedly explore past allegations involving T.I. and Tiny Harris that have surfaced over the years. 50 even posted about it on Instagram, though the post was later deleted, hinting he was preparing a documentary about the couple. He wrote, "Remember how quiet I got before the Diddy doc?" That comment immediately changed the tone of the entire situation. Suddenly, this wasn't just about diss tracks or Instagram trolling anymore. If 50 was serious about a documentary, the Harris family could be dealing with something far bigger than rap bars. And there's another reason King Harris jumping into this beef carries extra weight. His relationship with T.I. has been complicated and very public for years. So where does everything stand now? The back and forth between the rappers exploded across social media timelines in February when T.I. and his sons, Domani and King, released a series of diss tracks targeting 50 Cent. That's multiple family members recording songs, posting online, and going directly at one of the most famously petty and relentless figures in hip-hop. And how did 50 respond? So far, not much on wax. Aside from the Power Origins theme track, which received mixed reactions, 50 hasn't dropped a major diss record in response, and at this point, it doesn't look like he plans to anytime soon. But the documentary talk is still hanging over everything. Considering the success of 50's previous documentary work on Netflix, it wouldn't be surprising if he decided to go that route instead of continuing a traditional rap battle. That's the move a lot of people are watching closely. Because 50 Cent isn't just a rapper anymore, he's a television producer with the connections and resources to actually pull something like that off. And by referencing the Diddy documentary in the same conversation, he seemed to be drawing a very intentional comparison. T.I. also addressed the situation during an interview with TMZ. "Man, that's so last week," he said. "It's unfortunate, but honestly, I wasn't here to defeat, I was here to defend." Speaking later on the Ebro show, T.I. added, "I'm big on treating people the way I want to be treated, and I'm also big on treating mothers the way they decide they're going to treat me." He even pointed to 50's current silence as proof that his response worked. All the quietness we're seeing right now, what would have happened if that quietness was practiced from the beginning? Absolutely nothing. We wouldn't even be here. Meanwhile, T.I.'s song Let Them Know from his retirement album Kill the King is currently sitting at #1 on urban radio and climbing across several charts. From a career standpoint, the entire situation has actually given T.I. a noticeable boost. But King Harris is in a very different place. He's only 21 years old, he's now a father himself, and he just publicly went after a 50-year-old media mogul by disrespecting his late mother, wearing her face on a t-shirt while lighting a blunt in front of the image. King's clash with 50 marks the mogul's second feud with a rapper's son, following his earlier conflict with Diddy's son, Christian King Combs. So clearly, 50 isn't unfamiliar with battling the next generation. But what this entire situation really exposes isn't just a rap beef. It highlights the tension between a father who spent decades building a carefully crafted public image and a son who has repeatedly challenged that image. T.I. wants to be seen as the patriarch, leading his family with discipline, respect, and logic. King, at times, has suggested that image feels more like a performance. So when 50 targeted the family, both men fired back, but in completely different ways. T.I. responded strategically, dropping calculated diss tracks. King reacted emotionally, crossing lines that even his own father admitted shouldn't have been crossed. And the fact that T.I. publicly said the t-shirt went too far, while King publicly said it had to be done, tells you that even while presenting a united front against 50 Cent, the cracks inside the Harris family are still very real. To their credit, both men have shown a willingness to work through their disagreements in public, something many families avoid entirely. But vulnerability in a rap beef with 50 Cent is very different from vulnerability in a podcast conversation.
And right now, with 50 reportedly considering a documentary about T.I. and Tiny, the Harris family could be facing a challenge that diss tracks and social media posts simply can't solve. The feud between T.I. and 50 Cent might eventually cool down, but the issues King Harris has brought into the spotlight about his father, his family, and how they handle conflict in front of the world aren't disappearing anytime soon. And depending on what 50 decides to do next with that documentary idea, the toughest chapter of this story may not be behind the Harris family at all. It might be right in front of them. This is definitely a situation worth keeping an eye on, because one thing has become very clear through all of this. King Harris is not his father. He doesn't follow the same playbook, and that difference could either become the Harris family's greatest strength or their most serious vulnerability. Only time will reveal which one it is. Consequences far bigger than a simple rap beef.